Jadi saya juga lihat dari soalnya Anda baik buat Anda itu awal ya bukan aja ini apa referensi iya ini mana harus dinas biografi dari ada ya mantap ada itu and aliasi Muhammad Hasan Usuludin Ko Mafrud Amuli Haidar Tafsir mungkin ada Azhar Wa'albah Richard Muslim Musawi Tabrizi Ehran Bahari Asam Tahlil wa Beresi Inizam Al-Ahsan Journal of Hikmat Ihsan Radi
Okay, shall we start? Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wabihi nasta'in wa khayri nasir wa mu'in. So, hello, good afternoon, and good to see you here again. As you might know, it's Islamic thought. You're going to have about the justice. And Thursday, I think, is day off, right? It's holiday. Am I right, Mr. Eddie? Thursday is holiday, right? We're closed, right? For Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, we're closed.
Yeah, holiday.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Thanks.
for what reason? I just said it's closed, it's day off. Well, I don't know. What is that? What is the event? Yeah. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. So we go for the next week, and after this session, probably we're gonna have another session in next week. So this week is our last session. So before I start this, because if it's Imam Sadiq Matidam, so I would like to share you with you a hadith of Imam Sadiq. One of it is in, let me see which kitab is it. Thing is in Al-Kafi. Imam Sadiq says, the thing that you want to leave with the people, the good thing is having something in for yourself. 2/3 of that thing should be being wise, having the wisdom, being clever, and 1/3 of that thing should be ignorance. Forget about the things happening. Like many things will happen around ourselves, might get us angry, but you should forget about it. Like I didn't see it, nothing happened. Someone came to you so angry, or shouting, saying some bad words. Instead of like you reply it, you'll be calm down. That's one of the things that gonna make your life better and you live more. Another thing of Imam Sadiq says, again in Al-Kafi, عن بعض أصحابه عن أبي عبد الله عليه السلام قال إنا صبر وشيعتنا أصبر منا, means we are patient as Imam. The Ahlul Bayt are patient, but Shi'atuna, those who follow us, are more patient than us. The person who's bringing that riwayah says, قلت جعلت فداك كيف صار شيعتكم أصبر منكم. How is that possible? That your Shia, those people who follows you are more patient than you. Imam Sadiq said, قال لأننا نصبر على ما نعلم, because we are patient for the things that we know it. وشيعتنا يصبرون على ما لا يعلمون. Our Shia, those who follow us, are patient for those things that they don't know it. So they are more patient than us. So being the Shia is another thing, but I just want to say about being patient. Another riwayah of Imam Sadiq is in Tuhaf al-Uqul, إذا أردت أن تعلم صحة ما عند أخيك فأغضبه. If you wanted to see your friends, your brother, how is he healthy in the relationship, means in the relationship, in your friendship? Make him angry. فإن ثبت لك على المودة, if he just stood on your friendship, on your the relationship, on being happy together, فهو أخوك, he's your brother. وإلا فلا. If he is not, this is not your brother. What is this riwayah trying to say? Not just go around and make your all friends angry. That's not true. But what is he trying to say, the Imam Sadiq, is how is important to being patient. Akhuk and being brother is more important than being a friend. It doesn't say a rafiq. In Arabic, rafiq means a friend. But brother is something more. You might know some people around here in the school, in your work, they are your friends. They're not your brother. Brother is in your, for example, someone very close. You're doing everything. You're sharing with them. You sharing your life with them. He knows everything about you. Someone very close to you, like a family, more than a friend. So it says that guy should be patient with you. When you make him angry, you shouldn't just take everything out and just say, oh, I'm going to end up our friendship. You should be patient. But this is the importance of being patient. When we speak about the akhlaq, the morality, the first thing we will face is being patient. Now we want to talk about the justice. The greatest thing we hear about the justice is being patient of the God, the patience of the God. How is that possible? Because you make a mistake, God would never punish you at that moment. Because let me give you an example. We have many stations downstairs, right? For Ahlul Bayt, for any other places. Some people are in charge to rule the place. Something goes out of the order. Some people do what they want to do. They're not listening what is the person who is in charge says. They do what they do. The person who is in charge will get angry. You might have seen it a lot, happens. They will shout, they will just speak aloud to them and just why you didn't follow the orders. This is how the humans would do. Like when you go out of the line, they will be mad anywhere. Like if you cross the red light, the government will have punishment for you. If you kill someone, if you rob a bank, if you do anything that's against the law, they have punishment for you. If you do anything against your house rule that your parents made it, or you made it by your the Islam, so I kill you. But look at the Islam history. You will see people, Prophet was be bothered by other people, but he never bothered anyone else. Also, the Ahlul Bayt. You'll see that a Prophet was being accused for many things, but he never accused anyone else. He faced many problems, but he never made a problem for other people. So this is the difference between the real Islam and what we want of the Islam. Sometimes if you say something about Islam, some of ulama, this is the question that sometimes happens. If when you Google it, you will see it, that they ask a question about Islam and the ulama will reply by like, is it what you want or Islam wants? Because I don't see the Islam says that. The difference between what we want and Islam wants. It will be satisfying being angry, be satisfied with something else. And sometimes that we should be angry, we stand against it, we say, no, it's just the society, just leave it for itself. God says, be angry about that, but we're not. No, it's okay, it's about the society. So we never really follow the real Islam, but we always want something from Islam. That we expect God to give us everything, but we won't give him what he wants. We don't worship him as he wished and as he wants, and deserved. But we also want something from him that we never deserved. We never try for that. And that's the justice. We'll reach and receive what we have ability for, that we have inside about it, not something we wish for that. So our wishes is for ourselves. You can keep it for yourself. If you want a Bugatti, you have the money. You can't just go stand in front of the Bugatti store and say, I want that. They won't give it to you unless you have the money. You want to reach the God, you have that money. What is that money? Just praying, being patient, having that akhlaq, having that morality, knowing that Islamic thoughts, knowing how to pray to God. That's important. If you don't know it, you won't reach it. I want to buy, for example, iPhone. They ask me for $1,000. I'll bring some coins. And they'll look at me like saying, we want just $1,000. Go bring the 1,000 or we don't give it to you. Easy. So if you want something, you have to achieve it. No one is going to get it. I told you before a story that someone did some hard praying to see Imam Sahib al-Zaman. And when he saw Imam Zaman asking, Imam Zaman said, ask him, what did you want to see me? He said, I have some question, I want something from you. He said, okay, I'll answer 3 of your wishes. He said, I want to be knowledgeable. Imam Zaman gave him a book. Go and said, read. I want to be rich. Imam Zaman gave him something, go and work. So I can't remember the third one. So the thing is, if you want to be knowledgeable, you have to read. You have to study. You're not going to be given. You have to do it by yourself. I want to learn another language. Or let me go just in my room and sleep and just pray and God, please give me that language. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen if you just try for that. I want to be rich, I have to work. I want to be knowledgeable, I have to study. This is the justice. We'll reach, we'll receive what we work for that. We try for that. So let's go through our topic and learn a little bit about it. And after that, I will ask you some few questions. I've made some questions of this topic. It's because it's going to be 2 or 3 sessions, probably 2 sessions. I just want you guys know very perfect inside it. It's not very difficult. Just I don't know. Okay, what is justice? You want to know that? Why was justice selected among all of God's qualities, considered to be a principle of religion? As you all know, we have many attributes of the God. We mentioned 99 attributes. Al-Alim. What's another? Al-Khaliq. What is another? Al-Jabbar, Al-Qahhar. We mentioned all of it. So why not Al-Alim is not, Al-Alim was the greatest, or the Al-Khaliq, the greatest one. You know, ilm can be for, is different, the ilm with us and God. But even we can say we have the knowledge, but the Al-Khaliq is different. It's totally different. No one can create anything. So why not Al-Khaliq is not our principle? It's not one of our usul al-aqaid. We want to answer that. Why? Because among God's quality, justice is so important that many other qualities return to it, because justice in the general extensive sense means putting everything in its place. If you want to be Al-Alim, when you need Al-Khaliq, you have that justice. You have to have it. When is the ilm happening? That's knowledge happening when you have the justice for it. Justice, we're going to answer that in the later. What does the justice means? Another one is resurrection is related to divine justice, as well as the mission of the prophet and the responsibility of the imams. Another vote, when we just wake up from our death, we have to face the justice. The justice is what? That there is a religion. Someone was good, someone was bad, someone was evil. So what happens? If we're going to all face the hell, or if we're not going to face anything at all, where's the justice? What's the purpose of being on this planet? If we're just going to die, like I don't have so many things, but I prayed, I was good, I did many good deeds. It was easier for me to not praying. It was easier for me to not fast. It was easier for me to, I don't know, not being a good person. But I was just giving out an example. So where's the justice? All the prophets, 424,000 prophets came, and all the imams, they always want to say there is another world, and that's the justice. Another world means the justice. Another reason is at the beginning of Islam is very important. A difference of opinion arose over the issues of the justice of the Creator. We had two opinions of it. One was a group of Sunni Muslims who were called the Ash'ari, completely denied God's justice, and oppression make no sense in the relation to God. What they said was, Ash'ari says, it's okay if God doesn't have any justice. He wants to have the oppression. For what reason? No matter. He's the God. He can do whatever he wants. He can send all those who people committed the sins to the heaven. It's God. He's God. He can send all the prophets to the hell. It doesn't matter. Will he do it? They said, yes, it can be happen. So the first thing happened from the Ash'ari says, there is no justice. Another group of the Sunnis who were called the Mu'tazila, and all of the Shia believes in the principle of justice in relation to the Creator, and they believe that God never commits oppression. These two groups, means the Mu'tazila and the Shia, are called Adliyah. Adl, justice. God's not allowed to commit any oppression, the zulm, against anyone. He should have the justice. He should have that. Ilm means against the oppression. Oppression will become out of someone who's weak. Like there was a battle between Amir al-Mu'minin and another people group that stopped the water to come to the Amir al-Mu'minin's place where he's standing. They didn't have water. And after a few I don't know, days, I think, Amir al-Mu'minin got the advantage and he had the water. All the Sahabi, all the companion came to say it, and it's our time to stop the water. Amir al-Mu'minin said, no, this is the zulm, this is the oppression. We're just fighting. They said they did it. Amir al-Mu'minin said, if they do it, doesn't mean that we should do it again. So if someone's making a problem, doesn't mean that we all have to do that. It's not a permission for that. If someone is killing, doesn't mean that we should kill. Someone is stealing, someone's robbing, doesn't mean that we should rob. So the operation will come out of someone who is weak, not someone who's powerful. Powerful people would never commit any oppressions, any of it. There is no zulm for those who are great, those who are powerful, because they are powerful. Why they should do that? I have the power to kill this ant, or I leave it for itself. If I'm a weak person, I would like to have something to show my power, that I'm powerful, I will kill it. So say what? Because see, I'm powerful. But a powerful guy, everyone knows is powerful. I don't need to show it to you. I don't need any show off. So I will never commit any oppression. So there are two groups. Asha'ira, Mu'tazila, or they call it Adliya. Asha'ira and Adliya. Asha'ira, those who don't believe in justice, absolutely they deny it, completely denying that there is justice for the God. And another one is Adliya, that believe in justice. Another one is because our daily life and religion has come to affect our life. You know, your daily life, look, see it. If you see, you're living among the people. So you need a justice. What is a justice? It can be selling. This is 1,000 rupiah. Sell it for 1,000 rupiah. If it's for 2,000, sell it for 2,000. Or you need this. It's very necessary for you. Your life depends on this. And I say, I'm not going to sell it to you. This is against the justice. Justice doesn't mean just being something in the good way. This is always like saying always happening with something special. It can be everything. The adala happens with everything. If it's this 1,000 rupiah, I should sell it in 1,000, not 2,000. If you necessarily need it, I shouldn't deny it. Or you just give me 20,000 rupiah, or I'm not going to give it to you. This is against the justice, because it's just only 1,000 rupiah. It is a means of it is a means to establish justice in human society and to struggle against any kind of oppression. The great created universe is based upon divine justice. Human society will also not remain without it. If you even see the around ourselves, the nature, it's based on justice. Justice means what? A balance. All is just based on the justice. See the birds, see, I don't know, the parrots, see the wild animals, see the trees, the plants, see the seas animals. All are based on a justice. A lion should hunt a deer. A deer should eat grass, for example. They all have it. This is justice. Having a rule, having a line for themselves. Okay, so after that, why was it important? Now we go through that. What is justice? Justice contains two varying meanings. Now we want to answer the meanings of the justice. One is the extensive meaning of this word is to put everything in its place. It is being in a balance. So to be specific, like physicians, they know it. Everything is in its place, the atoms, the molecules, everything. To be in a place means justice. This meaning or sense of justice rules the entire created universe in the galaxies between an atom and an etc. Everything. Like the wild animate natures, the even if you see this, the sun and all other plants, you'll see that everything they have repercussions and they are closed to stay in the lines of they had. If they lose that, everything will be destroyed. The earth will be destroyed. The other plant, even the galaxy will be destroyed. This rule means justice. Be in their place. So until now we know some people, so maybe you didn't know that this is one of the justice meaning. So one of the justices is this, that everything be in display at their own places. Like if Earth go a bit closer to the sun, it will be destroyed. If we bit go out back, get a bit distance, or be freezed. This is the justice. This is the elm. Another meaning of justice is the following of individual rights. That everyone knew that. They have the rights. And the point opposite is oppression in the sense of taking the rights of someone. You have the right to be alive, I'll get it from you. For what reason? Why? I don't know. So this is the justice. Everyone individually have to have the justice for themselves. The second meaning is particular one, and the first one is general, being everything in their place. In a balance, it's general, everything includes everything. But individually, it's just one person, each individually, like one person, one animal, one tree, everything including one. So this is the meaning of justice. Another thing that we want to talk about it is the difference between justice and equality. It's quite obvious that sometimes justice is confused with equality, but equality is not a condition for justice. Rather, rights and priorities must be considered. As an example, justice in a classroom is not that they all receive equal grades. And justice between two workers is not that they receive equal wages. Rather, justice is in this case that each student to be graded according to his knowledge and ability, and each worker to be judged according to his work and activity, also same as the world of nature. Justice is that every creature receives its right in proportion to its ability. In a classroom, whether you study in university or your high school or anywhere, you see, I receive same grade as my friend that didn't study. This is equality, but it's not justice. Someone works, get a wages, for what reason? Nothing. He didn't do, but his friends did something. So this is equality, but against the justice. So equality is something another. And so we are finished. I'm going to ask you some questions. Yeah, because I didn't want to finish. So after that, we're going to have the questions that you can ask me. So I wrote some questions. 5 questions, 5 people. 1, why among all of the God attributes, God qualities, justice known to be all recognized being one of the principles of religion? Who can answer that? Why justice is one of the usul al-aqaid, but the other principles on other God's attributes, God qualities not? Everyone's just looking down. Yeah.
This is the most profound argument for the establishment of the universal system to be worked equally to the creation.
Yeah, exactly. It was I said it the first time. Everything, like he mentioned, it was the most powerful one. Everything goes back to the justice. All the God qualities goes back to the justice. If God doesn't have any justice, every other qualities of God will be meaningless. So justice is the meaning of other qualities. Okay, the second question. Who were the Asha'ira? What they believed? Asha'ira. Not you. You already answered. Anyone else? Even from the Zoom, if they want to respond.
Justice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They completely denied the justice. There is no justice. God can send all the prophets to the hell and can send all the sins people to the heaven. He has the power. This is the power of the God. But we say what? God's not allowed and he can't do it because he has the justice. If he do that, it means he's not a God. So another question, what reaction does belief in divine justice have in our human society? What effects of justice has in our life, daily life? Even Mr. Eddie.
Maybe for stability of life. For example, if life not have the justice or rules, sometimes the stability of life is not stable. Something like chaos or something like this.
Yeah, exactly. All of them will be collapsed
Yes.
if there is no justice. Like imagine if everyone wants to cross the red lights. So there won't be any like a normal life. It will be a chaos. If I have a product and I don't want to sell it to you, for example, I have rice. I have the power of the rice of Indonesia and I don't want to sell it, except that you buy it more expensive. It will be a chaos. So even in our daily life, the rule means justice. Everything will get their meaning by the justice. Another one is how many meanings does justice have? And explain it. Three people answered. Gilton. How many meaning does justice have? Two, yes, exactly.
Put everything in its place and the following of the living one right.
Yeah, exactly. But so what is the third one?
The difference between.
So like, yeah. So we have two meaningful justice. One is in general, one another is individual. So the general law means in balance. In our life, in the nature, in the creation, everything puts everything in their place, like the atom, molecule, everything should be in their place. Or otherwise, or everything will be destroyed. Another one is having everyone has their own rights. I worked hard, I should get paid more. I studied harder, I should get a better grade than my friend. So this is the meaning of the justice. Another one, does justice, this I never did this question because for the next session, we need to know all of this. to get through it. So does justice means that same as equality? Why?
Justice is putting something in the right place, in this right place. Equality is our rights or our what we deserve as equal with what we with what we have or what we do.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, that's true. Can you explain it more
Equality
with also example?
justice related to punishment or judgment. But equality is what the demanding what the same rights. This is with what happened in our society.
Exactly. So you will be judged by what you have done. Like you will get a grade that we have worked for that, right? That's true. But for another question that I have for this, that you now know justice is different with equality. Equality means everyone get the same. Justice means no, they shouldn't get the same, right? Everyone knew it. She answered that. So I'll answer, when God sends the punishments to the other nations, we have in Quran, for example, the Naskh, that people would change from the humans to animals, right? You've heard it, like people become monkeys. So where's the justice here? It happened for everyone.
Maybe to give some learning or study case for another afterlife, maybe.
That can be
Study
true.
case, study case
It
for
can.
another society.
That's true for another time. Like
Yeah,
I'll make a story and tell the other people, see, I'm going to give you a punishment. But we said justice is different with the equality. Can't be together. Equality means everyone get the same thing, not by what they deserve. Like I committed the sins, you didn't. And when the times comes, someone came here and killed both of us. He's against the justice, right? So it means there is no justice if he kills both of us. This is what exactly God did. So where's the justice? So it means God didn't have the justice. If I want to give you another example, all prophets, they came from the God. Some people stand and stood against the prophets. And they stopped the prophets to making a better society, making a better country for themselves, for the other humans. So raise the justice, God didn't give them power to make a better place to live for the other nations that even affect us. When it comes to the punishment, we have a story that's also, I'm not which prophet was it, and God told him that there's going to be a punishment, there's going to be an azab to your nation. And he said, why? Like 60,000 people are good people, or only 40,000 people are bad. But God sent the punishment. Why? Where's the justice? It continues its story, but I don't want to tell it right now because it will be answered. So in all these stories, you will find equality, not justice. Ashara were right or not?
Maybe the people who have knowledge, they don't tell that they used to have to tell them about the warnings of God.
All the prophets did. It happens for even some like Hazrat Lut. Many other nations, Hazrat Nuh, Hazrat Isa, Hazrat Musa, even for the prophets, our prophet, where is the justice? Any answer for that? One is before the prophet of Islam, it could be happen like that if it was continuous. Like there wasn't anyone committing any sins, but it started from one person, 2, 3, 4. It's just continuing and getting higher. And God will wait until, for example, will be more than 50%. And everyone is losing the belief into God. What was God doing? So sending a punishment to all of them to save those 40, for example, 40%, and punishing those the others. The reason was that. One another reason was the azab when it came, it would get everyone's, like the flood. When it comes, it will get everyone. You have to stop it. If you couldn't stop it, even if you were a good person, you will face the flood, the earthquake, everything. It can be like everyone will face it if they couldn't stop it. So everyone is committing any problems, sins, they should face it. Like many people were great, good, but God hidden the Imam Zaman. Because the most people were not good. So the exact and great justice will be another vote. That God sent a punishment, that's true, to all the people and made them monkeys. But according to some of the riwayats that we have, even God sent some warning to the prophets that take out the good people out of the city. Go out because I want to send the azab. So according to those riwayat, we will see that even the good people will be out. They were out of that. And another thing is they will face the justice another world. They will get what they deserve. So it won't be a problem for them. Because they couldn't stop the sins, because they couldn't stop the problem, they will face it. If there's someone comes into our like ICC and it started say, I want to make a gun, I want to kill people, and we will just look at him. Okay, when you're going to finish making your gun? And when he finished, he will just start killing us. If I was also the good person, I'm going to be killed. Why? Because I didn't stop him by making a gun. I could stop him, just say no, take it all the things from him. But I didn't. So one another is when the azab is saying, it cannot say, okay, you have to be in a flood. No, you shouldn't. That's impossible. So this is the azab. When the qiyamahs happen, everyone will be scared. Yawm al-hasra, what is it? It's for everyone. Everyone will have that hasrat. For what reason? Because some of them saying we did more than that. We should have done more good deeds. Some people were saying, oh, why we have done that? Everyone will be facing that. So everyone will be scared, everything will be facing but the justice means receiving. Is it that means that they didn't deserve or receive what they didn't, it was against what they deserve? No. I didn't receive something was not for me. It was for me. Like I got the punishment in this world and I died. But another world I'll receive because I was good. And also, if you put yourself in front of the God, you'll see you deserve many things. So there are many other answers for that. Some of them in Ahadi, some of them you can think of it. It's very obvious. So one thing was, it was continuous and it was getting everyone. The justice was stopping it somewhere. except that letting everyone be a pagan, I stop them. Another one is going to face the justice in another world and getting paid more, rewarded more, and other reasons. So any other questions you have, because it's just praying time? You might want to ask him.
What if a bad person or he was a killer during his time, but he dies 1,000 years ago? And then there's another one person that do the same thing, bad things, and he just died maybe 10 years ago. And in the realm of the barzakh, they receive the punishment in the grave.
Yes.
Is it equal for them? I mean, the end of days is more closer than people who live nowadays than 1,000 years ago.
Look, the punishment, when you die, the time will be over. So when we say like we have time in another world, is just making sense for the humans. So actually we don't have the time in another world, or even the barzakh. For what reason? Because the time is for this world, to know everything. But our souls, when it comes out of our body, whenever we die, for example, you say, am I going to receive more punishment? No, it's not more punishment. It's what you have done. Someone came to Imam Sadiq and asked why we have to get punishments for our entire life, for example. We don't have time, forever. Why we should be punished forever or be rewarded as ever? What is for that? Imam Sadiq said, you had the time to live in here. You had to ask for forgiveness. You had time to pray, but you didn't. It means if God give you again 10 years more, 100 years more, you will do the same. Like I'm doing my entire life, same thing. Or my father for many years. Can he says, no, if you just give me 1 year, I'll do something else. No, you were doing for a long time the same thing. There's no other thing, because if God gave you 1,000 years, you would do the same. Like someone's prays a lot. The good people praying a lot. They will do it if they have 100 years, if they have 1,000 years or more. Khazra Nabi is alive. He's praying, he's doing the good deeds. If God give him also more than 10,000 years again, he will do the same. But the other people, those who killed Imam Hussein, they were satisfied. If Imam Hussein come back again, they will kill him again. Like when they were done of killing Imam Hussein, if Imam Hussein comes back to this world, I say, oh, I'm alive again, Shem Rabbi will kill him again. This could be happen times over times. So the punishment forever is one reason, because God, people will do it the same in the time. They had the time. God will give everyone the time that they want. So if they do the good, they'll receive good. If do the bad, they'll receive bad. And the punishment is just the being out of the time. Like that's why they say barzakh. Barzakh means everything is stopped. So you don't know, it's 1,000 years or 1 day. You don't know, is it what? Like an example, if I want to give you, is Ashabul Kahf. Time will be gone for them. When you're facing the punishments, because it's hard, it means like 1,000 years for you. But when you receive the reward from the God, it will happen quickly. So, but at the moment, you don't know what happens exactly. Was it more or down, less or more? So this is the answer. The first one, why is it forever? And why is it gonna face someone face more than the others. Was it enough, or do I have to explain more?
Thank you so much.
Okay, if you have again, we'll answer you next session.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I ever saw statement from Imam Ja'far Sadiq. He said that do not believe in Sufism or Sufi people because they never like us or even approve us. What is your opinion about that? Is it the correct narration of Imam Ja'far or wrong?
Yeah, that's true. We have many riwayats of Sufism, but Sufism is a name that happens nowadays. Some people call themselves Sufi, but when you look at them, they are like, for example, Shia, or maybe they are Sunni, but they're not Sufi. Sufi was at that time, they didn't believe in praying. For example, one of the things that they did was not believe in praying. To explain the Sufism, I think we have to have like 3 or 4 sessions what they believed. One they believe is they start one of the Sufism is one of it is like praying for one time, they'll get promote, they will promote, so they'll get higher place. At that higher place, they don't need to pray. Yeah. They don't need to pray. They have higher places as well. So the pray that they say, the pray is for Avam, for the people that need. Someone for us, we don't need to pray. So this is one of these Sufism, that they don't pray to the God. They don't see themselves as praying. Even Prophet prayed for himself, for the God. The Prophet Muhammad never said, it's not for me, praying is not for me. He prayed. Yeah. Some Sufism nowadays is, they call them Sufi because they pray a lot. They sit over some places, they pray a lot, they call them some Sufi. Some people are called Sufi because they believe Ali ibn Abi Talib is someone very high, has a very high position than he has. Imam Sadiq says these Sufism are also going to the hell. They believe a higher position for Ali ibn Abi Talib, Amir al-Mu'minin, the position that he has. So Sufism are different, like the Sufism in Indonesia are different with the Sufism in Africa. The Africa is different with Iran. The Iran was different. Most of them are different with the time that Imam Sadiq says. But the Imam Sadiq says about the Sufism, those who not, they're like some of them are trying to be like a clown. Imam Sadiq says they are a clown, they're not a praying. They don't have anything. They don't believe in the rules. Where did they came from? They just made it on themselves. Is it according to the ahadith? Is it according to prophets? No, just made by themselves. Some of Sufism, they have an imam for themselves. Like Imam Zaman, they have imam for themselves. That's he is the Hujjatullah. So Imam Sadiq says, they're not allowed to call themselves Hujjatullah. They're not Hujjatullah. So when you call yourself a Hujjatullah, you're standing against the God, because God didn't sentence you as a like Hujjatullah. So there are different types of Sufism. Some people may be confused about the Sufism that says most of that Sufism that Imam Sadiq, Imam Reza are mentioned, especially they were Shia. They call themselves a following of Ahlul Bayt. Imam Sadiq says they're not with us. I don't believe in them. They're going to go to the hell. Some of them believed in, even they said Imam Sadiq is wrong. Imam Reza is wrong. Imam Reza doesn't know anything about Amir al-Mu'mineen. We know. This is the differences. If I want to talk about the Sufism is a very, very long story, but that's enough to say that you can read what in a hadith says about the Sufism. Those who do that, those who did that, they call the person who's going to go to hell. For example, one of the thing that Sufism that Imam Sadiq says is haram to do is who? Say who? It's haram. Who we mentioned in one of this is Huwa, means the God. Huwa means everything, means one. So it's the God attribute. Allahu. We have it in Joshan Kabir, we have in Quran. Allahu, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So Sufism would always say who. Like they say Ali ibn Abi Talib, they say who. For what reason it's haram?
Why is it haram?
Because it's for God. You're not allowed to say it for anyone else, except for the God. So saying who, or just making yourself look like a Sufism is haram. This is the riwayat of Imam Sadiq and Imam Reza. But Sufism has many different types. Like even some people called Ahlul Bayt as a Sufi, but not the Sufi that mentioned by Ahlul Bayt. Sufi as a person who was praying a lot. Sufi as a meaning of that someone was a good person. Sufi as a person who helped people. We have a Sufi in Africa that they stand for the Islam. They made Islam be stayed in the Africa. For what reason? Because they were praying a lot. They call themselves Sufi. In Indonesia, I've seen many Sufis that they pray. They don't like, there are some kind of Sufi in Iran, for example, in some Arabian countries, they don't believe any haram or halal. There is no haram for them. If they want to have a relation with a woman, because they are Hujjatullah, they are allowed to have it. They say that. Because they are Hujjatullah, they are allowed to not pray. Because they are Hujjatullah, they are allowed to say everything. So this is different with the Sufism that you might see in Indonesia or Africa or other countries, or what they believe. So if I want to make you more clear to know about the Sufism, it's better to study the riwayat that says what does Sufi means. So which kind of the Sufi Ahlul Bayt say they are wrong, they're doing the haram. Was it enough or okay? Okay, any other question? Yep.
So that if we want something, we have to try to get it, but sometimes we don't get it.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe perhaps someone said that Allah will give you in another world. And then what about someone says that ask God for His mercy and His justice? And is it correlated?
That's different. As we mentioned, the mercy is a riwayah, I think still from Imam Sadiq. I'm not sure about it right now. But mercy is because this is for another world that God wants to judge us. We'll ask for mercy because why? Because we all not deserve the heaven. So we'll ask for mercy that God will forgive us. That's another thing. But justice in here means to be everything in its place that even you mentioned. What we want to say sometimes is because of ourselves. For example, I'm not very talented in making money. I'm not good in business, but I'm good in, for example, arts. So it's better for me to follow the arts, not the business. Some other things people say, okay, God will give you what you deserve or what is good for you. That's different. The justice will be good for you. God will always, like someone came to the Prophet and said, I'm poor. He was coming to the Prophet Muhammad every time, for praying, for accompanying him, for everything. Prophet said, it's not good for you to be a rich person. He said, no, I want to be rich. I need money to support my family. And he just continued. The Prophet says, oh, just go. Just come back and said, oh, please help me with money. The Prophet says, it's not good for you to have the money. No, just please give me, I'll do the good things. If I'm not mistaken, God, prophet gave him some coins and told him to buy a sheep. One. Right now, I'm not sure what God, prophet gave him. So that's just in like that I'm not really sure what God, but I'm sure he bought a sheep. The sheep become 2, 3, 4, and he made even the stalls for himself. He'll become a great, rich person. After a while, he was absent in all the prophet praying or whatever the prophet was doing for a very, very long time. One time, prophet saw him and told him, "What happens to you?" He said, I'm busy. I don't have time for praying that in your mosque. I have to arrange my time for the business, for the store, for my sheep to be rich. If I don't, I won't be a rich person. Prophet told him, "You remember I told you you will lose everything from the God?" And he come up to himself and said, "Okay, yeah, you're right. Well, what a bad mistake I've done." Prophet told him, "Bring me that money that I gave you." When he brought it back, he become poor again. And sometimes it's not for our good to be to get what is not good for us. We have it also in Quran that sometimes people think something is good for them, but actually it's bad. And sometimes they think it's bad for them, but it's good. I can't remember the Arabic verse because it's the moment. It's kind of difficult to remember that, but it's, yeah, everyone knows it. The ayah.
The same if we want to get a child, having child, but Allah doesn't give us. Is the same with the money?
Sometimes it's because of our problem. Like they say, if you, not saying you, but someone as a like non-Muslims drink alcohol. So they say it affects you to have a child. Sometimes smoking. Sometimes it's the causes by us. That's different. Like you made a damage for yourself that you will not be able to have a child, but you say it's the God problem, or you say, okay, this is the justice from the God. God wants something good. No, you made it. That's your problem, not God. God didn't just make that taqdeer for you. It's something that you made for yourself. Sometimes it's this, sometimes, yeah, it's the God's plan. But also, there are many ways. Even in Riwayat, someone came to Imam Sadiq, Imam Reza, we have in Imam Hasan Askari that we don't have a child. What should we do? They tell him to pray these things, to eat some other things, to have a child. So this means do not stop. Do not say, okay, this is the taqdeer of me, so I should stop. No, they say go and follow and find something. Maybe you can solve that problem. So there are things that one time is you cause the problem, you are the source of that problem. One time is, yeah, God made it. So if in both cases, you have to follow and find some things to solve that problem. It can be like medicine, going to doctors, having good healthy foods, praying some other specific prayings, and also maybe if it doesn't happen, yeah, you're not gonna have the child also, yeah. But there are things to solve that problems. Yeah. Any other questions? So I think we don't have any other question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for attending this class. Hope you have a fun days and have a fun holiday for Thursday. Don't forget me your prayers and try to remember what I said in this class. Next time we'll see if you can remember. Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much.
Kita bawa.
Baik, Bos. Itu yang kemarin buku ini. Oh,
Buku apa?
antum mau butuh berapa?
Satu aja.
Satu aja. Ente ambilin ya. Udah di gudang soalnya. Takkiran mau antum
Kenapa?
Kamis berarti libur ya?
Ini tanggal merah. Makanya nanya
Kan
mah.
ada kebetulan ada teman saya yang interest sama saya.
Oh iya, tunggu ya. Ada nggak?
Kakak.
Ya. Ya. Ya, ya. Penting itu. Menurut ente mau teknis ini artinya masalah lingkungan sebaiknya tinggi sangat bisa dia tahu. Misalnya lingkungan normatif, misalnya lingkungan kalau tahu mengesa, kalau tahu sang isi dari ini atau dia sangat mangor ya kan kita. Cuma kan kembali pada cara mangor kan ingin deh lanjutkan video meeting, kan video meeting penyegaran pengurus masjid, toh, pada mekanisme lanjutkan moto ini artinya pasangan bahasa yang hambatan paling tempat kumpul yang balik tapi mau tempat kumpul enggak naik kesepakatan ini tulis dan ya ditulis mana disebutkan itu hasil rapat. Jadi harus ada kesepakatan bahwa setiap hasil rapat menjadi tertib pertanyaan bahwa dia ini kesepakatan diketik pada saat itu juga mana ini sebarkan supaya clear. Asal tahu alasan membuka itu tahu bahan itu yang pertama penting itu masalah. Kedua ya untuk mengantisipasi ya sebenarnya meeting tokoh-tokoh masyarakat dalam pengertian si generasi tadi yang yang mau terus itu berbareng mati yang mau tadi dia itu berbareng yang kamu mau kemana kan kemana ya sudah di sana itu itu dan dia segenerasi yang kok paham. Jadi rambut dan nanti segenerasi kalau lahir anak pewaras nih anak rumah itu. Jadi ya atau sekali segenerasi tadi apa yang lain nanti satu bongi ya air ya tentu tak penguangnya nanti kalau itu baca kita deh kalau itu sama toko di posisi masih cocok. Menang. Oh boleh. Iya. Posisi. Ya ya iya. Kenapa mapari kemana dalam pengertian mapari itu muato ke sekolah dalam pengertian kalau orang terpilih mau nani kadai kak diam doang pak bisa artinya iya. Iya. Nah, jalan yang kedua, kalau itu ya artinya kolaborasi dengan eh, artinya otoritas setempat, seperti milaku Pak Camat Kak, atau di Kaletatori. Tapi dipastikan bahwa pemilik otoritas ini Pak Camat ya kita ini mati artinya pengurus ini eh, mendekat di pemerintah setempat sebisa mungkin dicitrakan netral kok dari masyarakat Athena di dalam hal jadi pilih yang paling netral di situ. Tempatnya lah kalau misalnya mau pasawal di merasa dengan malah tak ya yang Indonesia dia diusahakan pasawal tidak memberikan pernyataan apapun yang dipandang memihak kecuali lain mana ini dia di rapat ya dia nih dengan bisa itu terus seperti itu oke iya betul artinya kita tetap namanya iseng itu balik buat urusan baca carana nah malai sirwaro jadi intinya mau kembali ke jalur lawan dari Puanda membatengah nah malai itu jalur sirwaro nah ya sirwaro jalur salah satu cara nanti mengerti sirwaro yang program bersama misalnya apakah misalnya yang seperti penggalangan dana untuk apakah kiai misalnya halaman masjid penipuan blok agamatik kurang penipuan blok halaman masjid boleh oh